pagbati na may ngiti sa aking mga labi. Naghahanap ba kayo ng makakatuwang sa pagre-review ng inyong anak? Meron yan sa DepEd. Ang ETUlay online tutorial ay libre at handog ng ating kagawaran sa pangunguna ng OUA ICTS EdTech. Ito ay isang proyektong makatutulong sa mga mag-aaral, katuwang ang mga magulang o kasama sa kani-kanilang tahanan para masagutan at maunawaan ang mga modules. Hangad din ng programang ETUlay ang matulungan ang ating mga guro sa kanilang mga blended learning classes. Ang ating ETUlay ay mula kinder hanggang senior high school. Bukod sa academics, meron din tayong mga special programs gaya ng All is Wellness, Reading and Math Remediation, Storytelling, Mommy Tech Talks, Classes sa Gramatika, Speech Class, Financial Literacy, at marami pang iba. Pinalawig din ng ETUlay ang ating Alive program para sa mga mag-aaral mula grade 1 hanggang grade 3. Gayun din ay mayroon tayong ALS program at SPED tutorials na makasisigurong makakamit ng lahat ang inclusive education. May SPED hotline na rin para sa inyong mga katanungan patungkol sa special education. Kaya, subaybayan mula Lunes hanggang Biyernes, mula 9 ng umaga hanggang 7 ng gabi ang ating ETUlay. Sa ating pagtutulungan, maiaangat natin ang bawat isa. Ating itutulay ang pagkatuto upang di mapigil ang pag-aaral ng kabataang Pilipino. Itulay natin ito, sulong edukalidad.
Mabuhay! Good day to all! I am your tutor Madge. Welcome to ETUlay, a free online tutorial, an initiative of the Department of Education, Information and Communications Technology Service, Educational Technology Unit, ICTS EdTech. This program is aimed at helping and assisting learners from kindergarten, senior high school, ALS, Alive and SPED learners. Aside from answering the modules, the ETUlay is offering programs which you will surely look forward to. Together with our parents and teachers, the ETUlay will bridge the gap where difficulty and ease meet in learning new knowledge and skills. So, let us prepare our module, pen and paper. Ready your mind to see and hear worthwhile and interesting lessons. Let us now study and learn, together with our volunteer online tutors. Tara na!
Hello, good afternoon, Tutor Joyce.
Hello, Tutor Floy. How are you po?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How about you?
Well, doing good as well. How about our learners and our viewers for today? Hello, senior high school.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the second quarter of the 21st Century Literature from the Philippines and the world. So kaka-tune in lamang po, tayo ay live na napapanood sa DepEd EdTech Unit Facebook page at YouTube accounts, DepEd Philippines and Educational Technology Unit. So please make sure to hit like or love or any reactions out there and share this live stream to your friends, classmates, or batchmates. So, Tutor Joyce, I think it's best na mag-shout out tayo konti sa mga viewers natin today. Go ahead, Tutor Joyce.
Yes, shout out for this afternoon to Mark Selemen. Ayan, hello from San Francisco High School. We also have John Christian Miko. Talagang unang-una siya, Tutor Floy. We also have Trisha Lian Argualio and Shermel Gambota and Dave Balveran. Ayan, marami pa.
Yes.
Tutor Floy.
Yes, we also have John Christian Miko. Hello, anak. Welcome, at salamat kasi you're still joining us today. So we also have Sherry May Gambota and Gwyneth again. So there are lots of folks here today and pwede pa tayong umabol. Just make sure to share this stream to your friends and classmates. So, ayun. So, Tutor Joyce, anong meron ngayong araw to? Kasi parang pagkakaalala ko, we were promising someone to greet or feature
Ayan.
his birthday. Sino to, Tutor Joyce?
Yan. Happy birthday to Joseph Conrad Bulaklak, ang napaka-masukid and suking-suki natin sa 21st century literature, si Tutor Floyd.
Yes. So everyone out there, you can join us in singing a very quick happy birthday song with a quicker beat. 1, 2, 3, go. Happy birthday
Birthday to
to
you.
you. Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday to
you.
you.
Wow.
Yan.
So
And
may
also,
God
happy
ever bless
birthday
you.
for all those birthdays out there. Happy birthday din po sa mga mag-birthday ngayon at saka
I
kahapon at sa
know.
mga susunod pa.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
go.
So if you want your birthday to be featured or to be posted, meron kaming konting pag-greeting, just make sure to message us. So, Tutor Joyce, today, quarter 2 na tayo. And there are a lot of things to uncover, to unfold, to learn this quarter. And I'm very excited because this is our first session and we still have 7 more sessions. Pero feeling ko ang bilis-bilis lang talaga ng quarter 1. Tama ba, Tutor Joyce?
Oo nga, parang last week lang yung natapos tayo, no? Awarding. And congratulations again for the
Yes.
awardees. Again, and we
Yes,
are now in the
yes.
second quarter,
Yes.
week
So,
1.
yes, and then for this quarter, here are the MELCs or most essential learning competencies. So we are to write a close analysis, critical interpretation of literary texts that we read or were assigned to. We're going to, of course, use different reading approaches as we go through these texts and perhaps making an adaptation of these texts. We'll also be covering multiple texts or chosen or selected texts with corresponding authors of a text from Asia, North America, Europe, Latin America, and Africa. And second, compare and contrast different genres. So we're able to do this last quarter, but this time our focus is on the world literature. Third, producing creative representation of a literary text by using or applying multimedia and ICT skills. And finally, having your own or self-assessment and peer assessment of different literary texts and their adaptation. So there are guidelines I'll be giving you, and so with your respective teachers or 21st century literature instructors. So together, let's learn. So Tutor Joyce, let's have a quick overview. So I'll just go through this, run through lang. So these lessons or topics reiterate the MELCs that we have. So currently we're on week 1. So our topic is writing a close analysis and critical interpretation of literary texts and applying reading approaches. So Tutor Joyce, what are the focus of today's session? Ano yung mga objectives?
Browsing and learning to use the internet is yes, one of the easiest and funnest things to do today. A click here, another click there, and we can be anywhere. You can meet people from around the world. Hi! Read amazing stories and histories of the past. Ooh. And even have a glance of what may be seen in the future. But remember, using the internet without proper guidance and enough knowledge can also be one of the scariest we can ever imagine. Ooh. Imagine going on an online trip, seeing the beauty of the place, when suddenly, potential scams pop up and block your way. Scams? These are dishonest tricks used to deceive people, and we don't want that to happen to any of us. So, be your own hero online. Be internet alert. If it's too good to be true, then it's most likely fake. Fair exchanges shouldn't ask for your personal information. Always think twice or ask for the assistance of your parents and guardians before accessing a new site. Be on guard for possible phishing that will ask you to log in and give your important personal details. Whew! That was close. Good thing I am internet alert. Remember, any effort to steal your information may be a form of scam. So always trust your intuition and distinguish what's real and what's fake online. This has been your online hero, Ma'am Jennifer, reminding you to beware by being aware, keep your learning safe, and don't fall for fake.
Don't let this ever happen to you. Hackers and scammers are lurking about trying to get.
Ayan, we're back.
Hello, we're back! Okay, so Tutor Joyce, medyo may konti lang na parang aberya, but not to worry, we're back. Thanks for our director, Direct Ken, for assisting us. So I believe we're able to uncover the different milks. So we were able to present it kanina. And nakita po natin there are 4 milks. And despite them being 4 lang po, we're able to stretch this out into 8 weeks. And as we stretch out these topics, meron po tayong konting overview or session guide. So we're on our first week, writing a close analysis and critical interpretation of literary text and applying reading approaches. So, yun po yung gagawin natin today. Yun yung i-uncover natin today. So, Tutor Joyce, what are the objectives? What are the targets of this session?
Yes, and of course, this session will not be complete without our lesson objectives. So first, we have identified the common reading approaches that are helpful in analyzing and interpreting a literary text. Second, illustrate some tips in producing a comprehensive or close analysis and critical interpretation of a literary text. And lastly, produce your own literary analysis or critique.
All
Ayan.
right. So those
Alright.
are the focus today. So yung produce your own literary critic. Hopefully your subject teachers in 21st century literature will be able to assign those to you and read a lot of your works in your online classes as well. So what is the literature concept of the week? Hindi pa rin ito mawawala. So our concept for the week is the skill of reading or simply reading. So reading is a skill that we've already acquired as early as elementary. In fact, once we start listening or we try to hear sounds and process it in our brains, our neurons, we're able to respond through speaking. And as we master those two or acquire those two skills simultaneously, eventually we'll also be able to check some printed works or codes or symbols and be able to read. So across the globe, there are different ways to do it. And I hope in today's session, you'll pick up just few, if not all na talaga, hindi lang few of these reading approaches. So how do we read? So Tutor Joyce, tanungin kita and also our students. So for those of you, comment na po tayo, how do you read or how should you read? Ikaw, Tutor Joyce, paano ka nagbabasa?
Well, medyo ano ako, medyo late ano ako 'no, bloomer. Pero I would really love reading in a silent place, parang gano'n, may mga classic
Mhm.
music ako naririnig. So it really inspires me reading more and more, gano'n. How about
Yeah.
you,
So that's
Tutor Floy?
Yeah, so that's good. I also enjoy the same thing when I read. So I play some music, especially if parang ang dami ko nang iniisip and I'm drowning with tasks. So I play some music. If I want to relax and I want to concentrate, definitely some classical music or acoustic songs
Wow,
or
wow, wow.
yes,
Love
cover
it.
songs. However, if I feel so drowsy already, I go ahead and play a lot of loud music, sometimes even rock.
Oh,
I reach that point just to make sure that I'm upbeat and all, and I have so much energy as I read. And if I know already a material, I'll quickly scan through the material because I wanted to jump into portions of a text which I'm not that familiar with. So, Tutor Joyce,
ayan,
since we're
yes.
able to have that, sana yung mga students natin, pakitype lang po kung paano tayo nagbabasa. What's our best asset or best practice when it comes to reading. So, Tutor Joyce, what are reading approaches then? So,
Well, the reading approaches that we have, ayan. Of course, ayan, ano muna, Tutor Floy muna, ating slide. Ayan, we have here, there are so many strategies talaga no in reading, but when we speak of reading, these are common for teachers and parents to feel overwhelmed. But literature-based reading instruction involves reading, teaching through exposure to literature. Ayan, Tutor Floy. So in other
yeah.
words, ayan, in
All
other
right.
words, ayan. So students learn how to analyze text
Mhm.
by reading and analyzing. But if you're going to go to look closely, no, we have the plan and explicit action that help readers translate print to meaning and also help improve readers decoding and reading comprehension skills. And of course, yung focus natin, wag mawawala, literature-based instruction is to help children develop. Ano ba yung develop sa kanila dyan, Tutor Floy? It's the literacy skills, no? Through having a real-life literary experiences. And there
Yes.
are four, Tutor Floy, alam mo ba, there are four reading approaches that we will be sharing this afternoon. Ayan. And to
Mhm.
start with, we have here skimming. Ayan, meron tayong scanning. Mhm. And we
Mhm.
also have the intensive and extensive reading. And of course, to start with, Tutor Floyd, take it away. Yung
Yes,
unang-una.
yes, yes, yes. So, since there are four, let's go over the four. The first one is skimming. So, this is something that's very common to us if we're already familiar with the text. So, we've read it before, and as you go through the material or as you skim, you just get the summary or the gist of the text because you already know where to go. What are common scenarios of skimming? Let's say you're so excited to check out a new product or a new service, you'll go ahead and type or search for latest reviews from users or fellow consumers. That's skimming practice. Another would be, let's say, you're preparing for a speech and you're trying
Mhm.
to read your cue cards or notes before a speech because you don't want to forget any detail in the speech. So that's another scenario for skimming. We also have searching for something in our notes, or maybe you're having a review with a friend or a sibling, and then, yep, skimming is there and will never be gone. So that approach is so common. So let's have the second one, Tutor Joyce, which is
Yes.
scanning.
Well, scanning. So we have simply running the eyes over the text, and actually scanning differs from skimming in that you don't do not deal with all the content, no, in scanning, but search through the materials of a specific purpose or
Mhm.
specific word. So you are really finding the answer to the question, something like that. Tutor Floor. And then
Yes.
you're seeking an appropriate quotation, reference ba, or statement. Okay? And especially, no, isa pa, yung mga, you're locating names in directory, ayan, words in a dictionary,
Yes.
prices in a catalog, ayan, or it's actually, it's a quickly reading a text to get the summary of it, or aim only at finding the necessary, no, take note, necessary information in a text.
All
Ayan.
right. So, Tutor Joyce, I just wanted to emphasize this part kasi medyo na-mention mo na we are trying to summarize a text. So, ganito ha, pag skimming kasi, you already are familiar with the text and it's easy to get the gist or some portions. However, for scanning, nagiging summary in the sense na parang, for example, meron kang hinahawakan, tapos meron na siyang parang chapter summary. Let's say, ang haba ng text, patingin nga ng chapter summary or parang recap ng summary na to. So, dumidiretso ka na doon kahit hindi ka familiar sa material. Alright? So,
Yun,
there are
oo.
some other examples. So, Tutor Joyce, baka gusto mong i-share.
Yeah, lalo na, no, we are also familiar with the emails that we have. You usually scan it's actually a technique where students search for keywords in inbox, mga ganon, or it could be an email or subject for in our or news article, or even food, no? And pagka pumunta tayo sa mga restaurants, no, we visit
Yes?
there and then we search or scan what our menu for that restaurant, something like that. Yan. Okay.
Okay. All right. So, thank you for that, Tutor Joyce. So, kung gutom na gutom tayo, syempre, ang bilis lang talaga
Scan
mag-scan.
lang. Ano ba talaga ang order
Yes.
natin? Parang ganon. Okay. And
Yes. And we also have reading approaches, two more, Tutor Joyce. So, the two remaining reading approaches here would be intensive and extensive
that's
reading. Okay, so what is so special about these two is it's as if you're having a boxing match. Okay, so in this boxing match, you're trying to weigh things and you try to explain or try to find an explanation to what you're reading. For intensive reading, you use it in academic context. Let's say you're preparing for an exam or you're reviewing for a major quiz or unit test, which we miss, by the way, in face-to-face classes. So it we're taking time in reading a material and really pausing when you think something is difficult or when you see an unfamiliar term, you go ahead and pause, search for the meaning of the term, then go back to that portion of the text and then understand the text or interpret that portion of the text before moving on to the rest. Okay, so intensive reading is so special because you can really see the focus or the concentration of you as a reader. You don't take the reading material for granted or miss any point. So talagang tutok na pagbabasa, kumbaga.
mm-mm.
Extensive reading, on the other hand, it's somehow similar. It may take time or may consume time if and only if you're enjoying the material so much. Let's say you're reading something that's not assigned to you. So in other words, ito yung mga opportunities for you to read leisurely. So intensive
Mm,
reading, academic yung purpose, extensive, competitive din siya in terms of time. Pag na-enjoy, mahaba din yung pagbabasa. But you do it in a very leisurely way. So, comfortable way, convenient way, at hindi siya required, kumbaga. Alright?
yun.
So,
Okay. That's nice. Okay.
yes. So, Tutor Joyce, ano yung mga further reading tips na meron tayo? I'll begin first, and that's vary your
Mm,
reading rate. So, if familiar yung words, yung concepts, or repetitive yung examples, and then the illustrations are so easy to interpret, one glance lang, kayang-kaya niya, and concepts produced or shared are general. Yung kahit, I'll close my eyes, I'll shut my eyes, I already know what the concepts are. So, your reading rate, faster. Okay? On the other hand, if medyo maraming unfamiliar terms or words that may need unlocking or long-winded sentences, so or words that are quite um, verbose in nature, ang daming words, daming sentences, daming ideas, and highly detailed information, definitely your rate becomes slower because you're intently reading a material. And sometimes, if hindi man slower, kung slow na ka na talaga, at least medyo steady lang yung pagbabasa natin. All right? So, that's amazing, right? How about the
Yeah,
second one,
nice.
Tutor Joyce?
Well, the second one we have to look out for pivotal words, no? Ito mga
Pivotal.
pivotal words na to, in other words, to repeat. Actually, these words are some kind of what we call the transitional words. So we have to look out for this. In my examples natin yung consequently, therefore, for these reasons, or in entirely, while, on the other hand, because these are several phrases, conjunctions, that words help us to understand what's coming up next or what's next, diba? Oo, and
Yes.
knowing this can be a big help when we are deciding to read the following section. Ayan. And yan, isa yan, yung
Mhm.
repeating words such as in other words or to repeat. It
Yes.
it means you are about to read or repeat the information, no?
Mhm.
Parang you are emphasizing it. Ayan. And another
Mhm.
one, we have
Yes.
the cause and effect, tutor Floy. On the other
Yes.
hand, ayan, yung because,
Yes.
so, consequently, and therefore.
Yes. I
And
know.
ayan.
All
And
right.
summarizing words will be followed by information that can give the big picture. These includes yung mga for these reasons and in conclusions. Ayun,
All
tutor Floyd.
right. All right.
Next.
So good job, Tutor Joy. So I believe when our kids here, our viewers, would come across pivotal or very important words, agad-agad na nila ma-realize, oh, these are transitional phrases or devices or maybe
Mhm.
signpost that they need to look
Yes.
into para makita nila yung relationship ng mga ideas in a text. So good job there. So the third one, guys, or the final reading tip that we have here is read voraciously. Imagine yourself eating a lot. Like if let's say you're craving for burger or cheesecake, Tudor Joyce, I kind of
Oh,
miss
wow,
eating
I love it.
cheesecake. Yeah, so
Okay.
once you're fond of something and parang ang tagal mo na, let's say, nag-diet ka ng todo, oh my gosh, let's get into there very soon. So kung
Okay.
nag-diet kang todo and then you really wanted to eat that at parang feeling mo yung isang serving kulang pa, hala, order ka pa, kain ka pa, and you ask for more and sometimes parang, oh my God, Ma'am Floyd, gluttony ata yan. Hindi naman necessarily. Hindi naman necessarily. So the fact that you wanted to acquire that something more and more, similar po yan sa reading. Gustong-gusto mo magbasa ng magbasa ng magbasa
Mm-mm.
because you're enjoying the experience. And remember, if you read voraciously, you're able to spot some techniques of writers and authors out there and shape your own or even come up with your own writing style eventually. Kung sa simula, medyo, di ba, Tutor Joyce, parang
Oo.
kopya-kopya tayo konti ng style ng existing
Oo.
writers na binabasa natin. Pero eventually, nagiging springboard na yung reading mismo ng mga iba-ibang material to writing kasi natutunan na nating magsulat at mag-respond sa text na binabasa natin. So, thank you,
And you're
Joyce
going to
Carol
create your
Oates.
own, no? Parang you're going to create your own na, di ba? From reading
Yes.
text.
All
Yan.
right. So thank you, Tutor Joyce. Galing, di ba? So,
Mhm.
Tutor Joyce, since we're able to have the 4 reading approaches and 3 tips that we can use in our personal study or just leisure reading, let's have a quick assessment. So, Tutor Joyce, simulan natin yung instructions.
Ayan. So the direction, read the scenarios given in each number, then identify the reading approach that best apply for each. Okay, so to
Yes.
start with, number
All
one, Tutor
right, number
Chloe, go
one.
ahead.
Yes. So, Tutor Joyce, before ko babasahin, baka na-shock yung viewers natin. Ako personally, I was surprised. I was checking my phone every now and then. I was supposed to respond. Kaso we were meeting some technical issues or problems kanina. So, parang hindi
Opo.
na siya na-stream sa EdTech Unit Facebook page. But not to
Mm,
worry,
mm,
because you
mm.
can still join us in the YouTube account, Educational Technology Unit. Hanapin lang po natin yung 21st Century Lit na nagsistream po live today or maybe visit one of our pages. Nag-share po ako sa sarili ko pong profile ngayon and then tagging Tutor Joyce and Tutor Jerry for creative writing para makita nyo po and you can still stay in the loop. So first item, daming
Yan.
libro Tutor Joyce, no?
Go
So
ahead, Tutor Chloe.
Mariam loves reading novels and short stories during her spare time. According to her, Such hobby did not only provide her entertainment, but also improve her vocabulary. So wow! So hindi lang siya nagbabasa because she is enjoying it, meron ding enhancement when it comes to learning or relearning different words or terminologies. So is it extensive reading? Is it intensive reading? C, scanning, or D, skimming? What do you think
Ayan.
is the answer for this item? So, Tutor Joy, since medyo di
Kindly,
natin, oo.
kindly write your answers in our comment section, guys.
Mhm.
Ayan, mukhang nagbabasa pa sila, Tutor Floy. Ayan.
Yes. Ayan. Sabi ni Sir Jerry, nahanap din. Nahanap ka na
Ayun.
din namin, Tutor Jerry.
We're here, Tutor Jerry. Hello.
Yes. Hello,
Ayan.
hello.
So what do you think
All
is the
right.
answer, guys? Write your
Yes.
answer to our comment section.
Okay, so while we're at it, Tutor Joyce, I think it's best na we reveal it na kasi
Yes,
hahabulan yung
sige.
iba nating learners today. And the answer is, Tutor Joyce,
Pero
ano sagot
may
mo?
answer na. May answer na
Meron
tayo.
na!
Yes, from
Wow!
Trisha Lian Argalio, we have letter B. Ang sabi niya, letter B, tama kaya siya? Tutor Floy, reveal mo na.
Yee! Letter A,
Ay, letter A.
extensive.
Ayan, letter
Oo.
A.
So, ganito
Okay.
siya ha. Tutor Joyce, baka gusto lang nating i-repeat kasi medyo hindi nakahabol yung iba. Pag
Mm.
intensive kasi intense, yun yung
Mm.
pinaka root word. So intense, sobrang grabe, sobrang grabing pag-aaral. But extensive, nag-extend. So we
Yun.
extend beyond our normal routine or reading task in school and have your own routine like just for leisure. Kaya extensive reading siya. Okay? Kasi
Oh, yeah.
spare time lang to eh. Hindi naman requirement yan. So,
Mm-mm.
hindi siya
Parang
intensive. So,
nagpapahinga lang, gano'n nagbabasa ka. That's
yes.
extensive reading.
Okay.
Okay.
So, but still, thank you, Trisha. Ay, short stories pala. Yes, but thank
Ayan.
you, Trisha, kasi you're able to try answering it. At least malapit na malapit ka na sa sagot. So, don't worry. There still are other items. So, next one, Tutor Joyce. Go ahead.
Yes. Number 2, we have Roland together with his friends visited a newly opened restaurant shortly after the pandemic. He was eager to pay for everyone's meal. That he grabs the menu as fast as he can and start choosing the best food options for everyone. Ako nakakagutom tong ating
Yes,
ano.
nakakagutom.
Number 1, letter A, is it
Yes.
extensive reading? Letter B, is it intensive reading? Is letter C scanning or letter D skimming? Okay, let us
Yes.
see your answers, guys. Write your answer in our
Okay.
comment section. Go, go, go.
Yes. Go ahead. Tignan ko din, Tutor Joyce, no? I'll grab my phone
Sige,
for a while
go.
and while we're at it, I'll also try sharing our live feed. Parang di ko pa rin siya nakikita sa
Oo,
page
parang
natin. So I think the YouTube account link that I've shared would suffice. Tama ba? I think okay na yun, no? Pwede na
oo.
mag-team replay po tayo. So, not to worry. So, ang answer dito, Tutor Joyce, i-reveal ko na, ha?
Yes, reveal na natin. Tutor Floyd, the answer is tadadadadaan, letter C, scanning. Ayan.
Yes.
Go, go, go.
Next. Okay. So next one is Micah wants to answer the guide questions as quickly as she can. Parang nagmamadali lahat ng character natin ngayon, Tutor Joyce.
Go, go.
So, she looked for specific signposts or mga
Mhm.
clues, mga mini heading, subheading, or lines in the selection that might provide her the instant answer. So, what did Micah use? Which reading approach? So, same set of choices po tayo. Extensive reading, intensive reading, scanning, or skimming. So, what do you think is Micah employing? What was she using?
Hmm.
Tingnan natin.
Ayan. Mukhang late yung
Alright.
answers natin, Tutor Floyd, sa comment section.
Kaya nga,
Oo,
okay
no,
lang yun.
nalilate
Sige
tayo.
lang,
So, anyway, sige,
bawi-bawi
go.
sila sa replay. So,
Bawi-bawi.
yes.
Ah,
So, tama si, yung kids natin din out there na sumasagot with us virtually, the answer is we're trying to skim kasi we're already familiar we can already assume here na si Micah, kaya alam na niya yung mga sagot or saan hahanapin or specific lines ka mo sa selection because she's already familiar with the material. And remember, we do that either by skimming or scanning. Kaso, alam natin eh. Alam ni Maika. So, skimming yon. Pero if it's a new material, definitely she's scanning. So, nakita yung subtle difference. Alright. Diba, Teacher
Ayan.
Joyce?
Yes. Ayan, may
Yes.
answer tayo. Si from Trisha Lian Argalia, nag-try siya ng sumagot. And her
Yes.
answer is letter D, skimming.
Okay. So,
Ayan.
ayun na. So, sana nakita yung difference yung kay Maika kanina. Pag hindi familiar yung material, definitely you're scanning. But if it's something that's mabilisan ng skimming, tama ba, Tutor Joyce, or nabaliktad
Opo.
ko?
Tama,
Okay,
tama.
sige.
Oh,
Next one, Tutor Joyce. I believe this
yes.
is your item.
Yes, I shall burn the midnight oil so I can ace my scheduled quiz tomorrow. I don't care if it have to go through an extreme amount of reading tonight. And is it A, extensive reading, the same choices? Letter B, intensive reading, C, scanning, or D, skimming? Ayan, ano kaya
Okay.
ang sagot
Ano
natin
kaya? So,
dyan?
for the information of our viewers, when you say burn the midnight oil, it means you're reading, you're studying, very late at night. So, ang tagal yung ginagawa kasi you wanted to finish familiarizing a material or a quiz.
Ayan.
So,
I think we have a
rather
correct answer here, Tutor
text
Floy.
rather for
Ayan.
preparing for a quiz. So, ano kaya
Yeah,
yung
yeah,
Tutor
yeah.
Joyce? Anong sagot?
Ayan, may
Tingnan
sagot
natin
siya
to
si
see.
Althea. Ang sagot niya, letter B, intensive reading.
Yes.
Congratulations, Althea. Good job.
Intense.
Ayan.
Yes. And I believe this is the final one. Tama ba, Tutor Joyce?
Yes po.
Okay. So teacher Christine encouraged her students to read not just for academic purposes, but also for leisure to get the best out of the reading experience. So same set of choices, you guys. So extensive, intensive, scanning, or skimming. So ano kaya to? So tignan natin. So tignan nyo ha. Hindi lang academic, pero nakikita niya na it's also for leisure. Kaya siya. So, ano kaya
Mm.
yun? Actually, dalawa to Tutor Joyce. Kahit yung sagot dito extensive, okay?
Mhm.
Pwede naman siyang intensive kung academic purposes, pero kung
Mm.
leisure yung focus, extensive reading
Extensive.
siya. Yes.
Ayun.
So,
Okay.
ayun. And then, wow! Congratulations, Tutor
Congratulations,
Joyce!
everyone!
Everyone!
Ayun, lahat ng participate. Okay, thank you so
Yes.
much for
Thank
participating
you.
and joining.
Thank you. So, Tutor Joy, since we have few minutes left, konting run through ko lang yung literary analysis, but I'd like you to define it for us. Go ahead, Tutor Joyce.
Yeah, so when speak of literary analysis, this is examining and evaluating a literary work to be better understand it. Not just a summary, but instead it is an argument about the work that expresses a writer's personal perspective, interpretation, or judgment ba niyan, or critical evaluation of the work. And here are some
Yes.
tips, Tutor Floy, that we would
Yes.
like to share. Ano-ano mga ito?
Okay.
Sige.
Tutor Joyce, let's have the first two. Or
Yes,
gusto
we
nyo ako
have.
yung mag-discuss?
Oh,
Tingin mo,
number
Tutor Joyce.
one. Sige,
Go
ako
ahead,
muna.
Tutor
Okay,
Joyce.
go,
Kaya
go.
mo
Number
yan.
one, annotating the text. Ano ba itong annotating the text? Or simply, pag sinabi mong annotating the text is any action that interacts with a text to enhance the reader's understanding of recalling of or reacting to the text. Ayan. And number two, comparing and contrasting the personalities or decisions that characters make. Ano ba ito? So furthermore, the development of the characters makes the audience care about. It's because when we speak of comparing and contrasting, these are ways of exploring the similarities. The similarities and differences between two things. And the third, Tutor
Yes.
Floy, ano yung
All
pangatlo? Go
right. So
ahead.
the third one here is identifying the author's purpose and style and the context in which the work was written. So last quarter, we're able to uncover these contexts. So my social, my political, ang dami pa actually. And then once we get to know these contexts, we'll understand better why the author came about or produced that specific material. What was the inspiration? what was the context that he was part of. At the same time, if you just wanted to focus on the text itself without recognizing the author's background, tinitingnan mo yung context mismo na nandyan yung mga characters sa text. So, maganda to, parang hindi lang outside the text, inside din yung focus natin. And then, once we get to identify the purpose of the author and yung style niya, agad-agad tayong makaka-decide, wait, I think the purpose of the author is this, so that's the reason why we're seeing this and that. So, tapos you can quote maybe some lines that prove na ito yung nagiging cause or ito yung mga, not really implication, but these are lines that would tell us na this is the author's implied purpose. Okay, so yun. And
Yes.
fourth one, specific literary approach or theory that they'll be using. Kasi Tutor Joyce, di ba? Tama ba, Tutor Joyce, when I say you don't just go for identifying the elements of a text? Tama ba?
Opo, no? Kailangan you have to go deeper, not only in the elements of the text. Okay.
Yes. And when you talk about literary approaches, if you remember, kung psychological or moral, tinitingnan nyo yung mga good or bad sides sa decision ng character.
Yes,
Yun yung pinaka-focus ka mo ng literary
Sa moral,
analysis
yes.
natin.
Oo.
But if
Yes.
you're going for historical or biographical, you're certainly looking at the history of the author, even his or her experience or biography. Yeah, so you would know what really were the experiences that caused him to design characters or different plot or events or plot events, di ba? So, bakit ganun? Parang more on war, hindi naman tayo panahon ng war. So, titingnan mo yung biography or history kung saan naging part si author and you would understand na, kaya pala puro war yung theme and sobrang melodramatic kasi ganun din yung na-experience sa time niya. So, again, review those literary approaches so it'll be easier for you to produce your own literary analysis. And
Yes.
the fifth one, analyzing patterns that we see. So, ano yung patterns na yon? Baka may recurring symbol. Let's say si Tutor Joyce, na nakikinig siya with us. Example, biglang may tatabi kay Tutor Joyce. Merong shadow sa likod niya. Tapos mga ilang minutes after, ako naman yung focus, may shadow na naman. So, similar to a book or a movie, that recurring symbol is something that you may want to include in your critique. Na recurring siya na pattern, simple, recurring na
Yes.
rhyming scheme, kung poems. Kasi at least talagang inaaral natin yung text. And finally, Tutor Joyce, go ahead.
Including pieces of evidences to prove your points. Ayan. So,
Yes.
kailangan yun. So, hindi lang basa-basa nagbabasa. So, you have to get evidences just to prove whatever you want to prove on your piece. Ayan.
Yes.
Okay?
And remember, you should always quote the lines in the text, specific lines, hindi kailangan buong sentence that would give enough evidence or piece of evidence sa point mo. So, let's say, I see that the author is trying to utilize this recurring symbol. Tapos, you can quote some lines. As he puts it, or tapos ilalagay mo yung line na ganon. Tapos explain ka na naman. So, that's how literary analysis works. So, hindi lang siya mere answering of the who, what, where, when, why, how. Talagang tinitingnan natin lahat ng aspect ng text. And
Yes.
having heard that, Tutor Joyce, since we're able to have the tips for literary analysis, I believe ready na yung mga students natin sa incoming days. At recap lang tayo, Tutor
Recap
Joyce,
muna tayo. Yes.
cover natin today.
Opo. So we have our lesson recap. We have the skimming, scanning, intensive reading, and extensive reading. Because when we say reading, not all reading approaches may work in a situation or a person. Tandaan niyo yan, na. So hindi pwedeng, kung yung kay Tutor Floyd, sa kanya mas effective sa kanyang skimming or intensive reading. Sa akin naman, more on, mas mahilig ako sa in extensive reading. So it depends on the person. So hindi pare-pareho. Ayan.
Hindi
And there's always
pare-pareho.
a time and
Yes.
place for different types of reading. Yun yung binabanggit ni Tutor Floyd kanina.
Yes. Okay. So, depending on context po yan, people. So,
Yeah.
hindi ibig sabihin na comfortable kami ni Tutor Joy sa isang specific or few reading approaches that will stick to that all the time. So we can always make adjustments depending on the need. And of course, as we go through these approaches, we're able to produce our own literary analysis. So
Right.
here is the task of the week. So we have two options. Tutor Joyce, please read the first
Ayan.
option. Go
So number
ahead.
one, we have to option A, share some personal tips on how you read. Okay, paano ba yung mga paraan ng pagbabasa ninyo, or share any reading approach that would wonder for your last quarter. Yung parang baka meron kayong mas maganda pang strategy or approaches na share, pwede nyo i-share na hindi namin na-share ni Tutor Floyd, no? And you
Yes.
might include some pictures of you performing. Okay, such reading approach, ideally with caption, syempre. Ayan. I post yan sa
Yes.
ating FB page, ha? Ayan, guys. And option
Yes.
B, Tutor Floy, ano naman ito?
Yes. Okay. So if you don't want to share your personal reading approach, you can always review the literary approaches that we covered last quarter and just choose one among them and then tell us or explain or share why you often use that approach or you plan to use that approach often in analyzing or interpreting a literary text. So, kung parating yung ginagamit at bakit. So, state the reason why that approach works for you. But if you don't have any approach that you're often using, pwede ding plano nyong gagamitin often. Okay? And then, state your reason. So, final reminders lang po. Shooter Joyce, let's have the first reminder.
Yeah, reminders for all the winners, yung mga nanalo last time. So you may claim your quarter one prizes by filling out the form where we posted, no? And of course, look for me, Tutor Joyce. Ayan.
Yes, that's good. And for those who would like to review the stream, available po yun at accessible po sa Facebook page natin. And today, or actually this week, we're launching some IBC episodes for senior high school subjects and even elementary and high school. And would like you guys to look and check for our featured 21st century literature
Wow.
episode. Weekly na po yun from 4:15 to 4:55 p.m. via
Yes.
IBC. Or you can check the DepEd TV program grid para makita po yun. So, may mga time na nagsusolo-solo kami ni Tutor Joyce yun para
Ayan.
bonggang-bongga yung learning na hindi lang dito sa live stream, but you can also have a focused discussion na makikita nyo kami sa TV din. So, go ahead
Ayan.
and
Wow.
check those out. So, weekly coach Tutor Joyce, iwan lang po
Yes, and
natin.
our weekly code for today, books are the plane and the train and the road. They are the destination and the journey. They are home. From Anna
Yes.
Kindelia.
Yes, Kindlen.
Kindlen.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So, ayun. So, wag lang gamiting instrument or vessel yung books for learning and for leisure. Gamitin din natin yun as one of our inspiration para we'll be getting or reaching our destined place na gusto nating, let's say we're reading Emily in Paris, talagang makapunta tayo ng Paris, mga ganon. And really go through the journey. Kasi minsan, di ba, Tutor Joyce,
Yes.
para tayong
Go.
nata-transport sa ibang world. So,
Once
why
you
not?
read, di ba? Go.
Yes. So make it your home, make it a habit. And speaking of habit, I'd like to remind everyone na ongoing pa po yung National Reading Month
One.
or book celebration this month. And sana po you'll continue reading, drop everything and read at times, and join us next week. So that's about it, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to the DepEd EdTech Unit Facebook page. And if in any case magkaroon na naman ng konting glitches, you can always visit the YouTube accounts EdTech Unit or Educational Technology Unit and DepEd Philippines to revisit and share our episodes.
Ayan. So, but before we close, Tutor Floyd, yan yung mga approaches that we have shared this afternoon. I hope you have chosen already one as your approach, and then by that, you will love and enjoy reading.
Yes, so once again, this is Shooter Floyd.
And I am Tutor Joyce.
Yes,
Say,
your virtual mentor every Tuesday from 4 to 4:40 p.m. saying, Tutor Joyce, ano yung last na
Well,
message natin?
have fun in exploring the different concepts and texts in your weekly habit here in 21st century literature from the Philippines and the world.
Yes, make sure to tune in for the next class, Reading and Writing with Tutor and Creative
Tutor
Writing with
Zen.
Tutors Kit and Jerry. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you next week with Tutor
Bye.
Floy and Joyce. Take care.
Bye. See you guys. Bye.
Ang husay naman! Natapos mo ang iyong tutorial session kasama ang iyong mahusay na ETUlay tutor. May bago ka bang natutuhan? I-share na yan gamit ang hashtag ETUlay Level Up. Huwag aalis ha dahil may susunod pang programa na pwede mo ring panoorin at salihan dahil naghihintay na ang iyong mga tutors. Happy learning dito sa ETUlay!